Yo.
What's happening?
What's going on?
We in the building.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Bright and early, baby.
Hey, did you have a good St. Patrick's Day weekend?
I mean, I had a good weekend regardless of whether.
You know what's funny is
aside from that.
Yeah,
St. Patrick's Day.
You know, y'all, it's not St. Patrick's Day. It wasn't St. Patrick's. Typically, most people didn't celebrate this weekend. But Chicago, we died a river.
Yeah.
So, you know,
the celebration will probably be like next weekend.
Next weekend, yeah.
But a lot of people went out this weekend.
Lots of people went out. Just imagine how many people going to go out next week.
Lord have mercy. I'm going to be in the house.
Yeah, you know. But before we get into all those fun things, if you could, please like, rate, subscribe, follow us on all social media platforms.
Yeah, buddy.
At 77 Flavor Shot. Literally everywhere. Literally everywhere. We got a lot to talk about this episode.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, you know, without further ado, let's go ahead and do what we do. 77 Flavors of Chicago right now.
It's Sarah.
And it's Dario.
And we traveled through all of Chicago's 77 community areas. We shared some great stories and took you to our favorite restaurants.
But you know what? There's more Chicago history and food to discover.
So join us as we connect you to the greatest city in the world.
You know why? Because this is 77 Flavors of Chicago. Yo. 77. We back in the building.
With the remix.
Hey. It's the remix.
Everybody hates that.
Yeah. Well, happy Monday, everybody. Yet again.
Or Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday.
Whatever day. Yeah, right.
Or April, if you're
right. If you catch on in June.
Or May.
Happy day to you.
Happy whatever you're doing.
Right.
Or night.
Yeah. Oh yeah, or night. Whatever.
I wonder if people listen. You can't listen to this podcast at night.
Midnight.
Midnight.
Well, you can listen to it at midnight.
If you're working, I guess, but like to try and wind down, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you can't listen to this shit.
Yes, you can. Why? Because we too turned? Yeah, we too turned. No, you can listen to y'all.
Because I have like my podcast I listen to when I'm cleaning. I have my podcast that I listen to when I'm walking, and there's podcasts I listen to in the morning to get me up and like going. I literally don't even listen to music anymore.
Are we a during the day podcast, y'all?
I think so. I think we're like, if you're a morning person, you might enjoy this in the morning. If you're not a morning person, this might be your post lunch pickup. You know. Mm-hmm. Or maybe your commute home so you don't fall asleep on the train. But I don't think this is a wind down.
Yeah, we too loud. I'm too loud.
I mean,
we too ridiculous.
One of us is too loud, and it's not me.
y'all don't do that.
I mean, people recognize us outside because of your laugh.
That's
like
true.
People will hear you laugh and be like, "Hey, you're Dario from 77." You know what I mean?
I'm glad people say I got a good laugh and not a cackle.
You have a wonderful laugh.
Not a cackle.
Wow. Oh, that was horrendous.
Yeah, right.
Terrible.
I don't do that.
You do have an infectious laugh. I would say.
You know, trying to spread this happy joy.
Great guy.
You know, go talk that talk.
Talk that talk. You gonna give me a coin? I mean, I could have wrote this script. You know what I'm talking about? I don't even want it.
Yeah, why not?
I take it all back.
It's a good ass coin.
Anyway, how are you?
I'm great.
How was your week?
It was fantastic.
What did you do?
Went to
like I don't know. I wasn't with you every fucking second of the day.
Yeah, right. Let's talk about it though.
Yo, this was a busy.
It was very
week.
busy. Very busy.
I got to pull up our calendar to remember what we did because I don't even remember what we did.
That's actually a good call.
My memory starts on Wednesday, but I don't remember what we did before that.
Yeah.
You had a photo shoot,
right?
We had a couple of recording sessions. Mm-hmm. We had a videography session.
Yeah. Damn, we did a lot.
We did a lot this week. I got my lashes done. I got my hair cut.
Right.
I got my nails done.
Right.
This is every 10 weeks, okay? Yeah. I have a wonderful weekend where all of those things fall on the same weekend. It's costly.
I feel like you've been doing it all week, though.
I know.
I mean, every week.
I know, but not every week.
Feel like it.
I get my lashes done every 2
week.
weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I get my hair cut once every 10 weeks, and I get my nails done every 3 weeks.
Man, I swear, that haircut ain't every other two.
It's literally every 10 weeks.
No.
It's a standing appointment. It's every 10 weeks.
Is it?
I get a hair trim, yeah.
I feel like you be.
And then every 3 months I get a gloss.
Okay. What's the gloss?
It's just because, do you remember last year when I had like green hair and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
So they had to bleach my hair to put the green in it. Mm-hmm. So now they dyed it back to my natural hair color, but some of that is still there. So they have to like add a little bit of a gloss over it to make
every
sure
time.
Not I just said once every 3 months. You don't be listening to shit I
No,
say.
no.
You know what?
Damn. Damn. Okay, my bad. I don't know. I must.
You cut your hair like once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's what brothers do. Shit. Yeah, I used to be every week.
And you go to a fancy barber because our haircuts cost the same.
Hey, shout out to my barber Chris, man. Hey, Chris a real one, boy.
Yeah.
He be having your boy ready for TV, ready for events. I swear.
Yeah, I know.
That's my boy.
I like how he does your beard.
Hey, yeah. Hey, Chris know what time it is, man. Yeah. You know.
So what did you do this week?
Hey, look, y'all. Let's just get to it, man. We went to the not opening, but we went to the preview of the new Guinness Open Gate Brewery that is opening in the West Loop.
Yeah.
Over on Kinsey.
And we didn't even experience 2% of what's about to happen.
Yeah, right.
Because the space is about to be large.
Yeah, because it wasn't really open. It was just like kind of give you a taste of what's to come. You know what I mean?
You had like little stations that will eventually be like rooms. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you had your merch site, like location, which will eventually be an actual store as you walk into the space. They had obviously like their bar, all that stuff. They have a bakery and a coffee station that will actually be a cafe. You can go in and get tap coffee
mixed with beer.
If you choose to, yeah. I did not. The one I had didn't have any alcohol in it. It was like the nitro cold brew. It was delicious. Yeah, and they also have food, and we tasted some of that food. I mean, they gave us an experience of a little bit of everything. They gave us the story of it. There was a VR thing that walked you through what the space is going to look like. That's why we kind of like know that we didn't experience the full thing because we know that the space is going to be much bigger. But it was really cool. And then we like our whole weekend was Guinness. It was
literally everywhere we went, we saw Guinness. Matter of fact, since we on here, not sponsored, y'all, just not sponsored. But this sponsored. Is part of the free stuff that we got. So I'm gonna crack that open.
Okay.
Yeah, you hear? You know, look now.
Wow, you spoke all over the ASMR.
No.
Nobody heard shit because you were saying you hear it.
Damn, my bad.
So you should always add a trigger warning before you do anything that is too like audibly.
You think that's too much?
Well, maybe not, but some people are really sensitive to like sounds of drinking and chewing and stuff like that. Some people hate it. I personally enjoy the ASMR stuff. It's stingly, but some people don't like it at all.
Some people don't like it. Y'all, what I just did was I opened up a Guinness non-alcoholic drought. It contains less than 0.5% alcohol. I don't understand it. It says non-alcoholic, but less than half percent.
Is it non-alcoholic or is it zero proof or I don't know.
It says non-alcoholic.
Oh, okay.
Non-alcoholic contains less than 0.5% of alcohol by volume. So. You know,
so is it non-alcoholic or is it?
I don't know. I don't ask questions.
What does it taste like?
It tastes like beer. Like honestly, it tastes good. I mean, it tastes. If anybody had Guinness out there, you know what Guinness is about, right? It tastes like that. Yeah. And here's the crazy part. And I told you this when we were at the event. I wasn't a big Guinness drinker. Right. You know, I wasn't. I was Miller Lite. I was like the cheap shit. The water. Although I did really like Heineken's. I liked Heineken.
Yeah. That's the beer in Jordan.
Yeah.
Heineken. Oh, everybody loves Heineken.
Amstel Light too. Yeah.
Amstel too. Yeah.
So I loved Heineken, but I never gave Guinness a fair shake. You know what I mean? I must have had the wrong one. But we was at this event. I was putting back every one. It tastes so good. So
also, it tastes better when it's free. You know what I'm talking about?
Right, and cold and shit. But here's the difference, though. Chicago is a brewery, so you know it's going to have about. I think they said anywhere between 9 to 12, maybe more, different types of drafts.
Yeah, and at one expanding.
Time. And expanding.
That's the whole thing about it is that like you dream it, you brew it. Yeah. So like they're ever expanding.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that was part
fun.
of our weekend. We had a great time.
But then nothing. Actually, where I was going to go.
I was like, then what?
My brain just. But what I was trying to transition to the contest that we told you about last week.
We are giving away 2 Vienna beef
$75 vouchers.
$75 vouchers.
Yeah.
To 2 lucky winners.
Yeah.
And it's too late if you are hearing this now. We're about to announce who it is. So we did this the old-fashioned way. We actually, I know there's like automated generators, but this was more fun. We cut up people's names on pieces of paper and
and we're gonna get the camera out so that you can see that we are doing this actually live. Okay.
Actually live. Are you doing your camera?
I'll do my camera.
Okay.
I'll do my camera. Just so people know that we ain't cheating, man.
Yeah.
Look. Here's the thing. Right. Here, hold on. Here we go.
Okay. So
ready?
Here's our little jar of names.
There's
We're
gonna
check. I'm gonna pull out a name, and then Jari's gonna pull out a name.
There you go. Hold on. Do we have a drum roll button on here? I don't think I have a drum roll button. All right.
All right. You can insert and post. All right.
Who's the first
number one is Angelica Lucy Flores.
Hey! Hold on, yeah.
Congratulations, Angelica. You are the proud owner of $75 of Vienna beef product.
Hey, okay, my turn here. Switch. Yeah, here, switch. Grab that. There you go. All right, now let me do it. Shout out Angelica winning. All right, here we go. Let me give a good shake right here. She said. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go.
Okay.
I got it here, right here. You see?
We see.
All right.
Well, they don't see. I see.
The second winner is Anthony Martorino.
Hey.
Martorina. Yeah. Oh, yeah, my bad. Here. Yeah. Hey. Congratulations to both of you. All the A names.
Yeah.
The A names won. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to...
we'll just DM you.
Yeah, we'll DM you because one was Facebook, one was Instagram, which is fair. I like that.
Yeah.
The random. And yes, we did check both. So
yeah, buddy.
We did check both. But yeah, we'll reach out to you.
Yeah.
And, via the message right there, there's a code for you that you can get. We can text you. We can send you the code. Or if you want that
physical
piece, we
Too
can
late.
send.
Tough shit. I'm not about to bring it to
We took a picture and ripped it up. No, no.
I'm not delivering that to anyone.
No. Mail. Pony Express, baby.
For what?
Pony Express. Damn. Well, Sarah said, "Fuck no." But yeah. So hey, we'll have more contests. That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That
Thank you, Vienna beef.
Yeah. Thank you, Vienna beef.
I hear with the slinging hot dogs.
Slinging wieners.
Slinging glizzies.
Yeah, actually, shout out to Vienna Beef, for helping us participate.
All right, let's get into this episode. It's like 17 minutes later.
12 to be exact. Okay. But let's get it.
Right.
Let's get it.
What did you win by saying that?
No. I was just wondering.
Why didn't you let me just have that?
No. 12:30. What's funny is I just looked at it too, so because I knew we had to move this shit along.
Right. Well,
we don't want those 15-second skips, do we?
Shit.
This is 15 minutes.
That would be me. I'd be like, skip. Oh, God, I don't care about your life.
Damn
just
it.
get to the fucking content.
I didn't win. Fuck you. I'm never listening.
There's more opportunities to win.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, let's get into this episode. This is a really fun one.
Yeah,
I'm super excited about this one. I learned a lot on this one, honestly.
First one.
So it's going to be structured a little different. Usually we do history first and then food, but today's episode is about the history of food in Chicago. And more specifically, it's going to be a series. So we are not going to cover the entire history today in one episode. Think of it as part one. And it's really just about we spoke to two people. You're going to hear from them in a little bit, but the first one is Professor Howard Rosing at DePaul. He'll tell you a little bit about his research, but I mean, he is the expert on the origins of certain foods in Chicago. He talks a lot about food justice or urban planning and food and stuff like that. A lot of really fancy big words that your girl just doesn't know. But it was such a wonderful conversation, and we learned so much. And
here we go.
Well, I'm at DePaul University, and I direct this center, the Stain Center, which is a community engagement center for the institution, for the university. But I also teach and do research with students, mainly on food in Chicago and a couple of other places as well, and increasingly beyond Chicago. I've also done a lot of archival and historical research on Chicago and its food system. So I'm happy to tell you whatever you would like to hear about.
We want to know everything.
To the degree to which I know.
Okay.
I didn't do it alone. And it's also with my co-author Daniel Block at Chicago State University.
So let's talk about the chapter you just mentioned. You were talking about a chapter that talks about the effect of
industry and immigrants and
Sure. Well, in thinking about Chicago and food, it goes back to the very beginning of the city itself, and even pre-Chicago. So the book that we put together, Daniel Block and I, begins really with an understanding of Chicago as a food city, but kind of quickly moves into sort of the indigenous groups that inhabited this space until 1833, and the kinds of foods that they produced and distributed and consumed, and really the indigenous practices lie at the foundation of Chicago as a food city, really. Especially grains. But also some things that perhaps we've lost touch with, in addition to our many prairies that became grain-producing farms and are still today. Mostly today corn and soy.
Right.
But
I was going to say my most miserable years were spent in cornfields, surrounded by cornfields. So yes.
Fair enough.
college is what she's talking about.
I went to Illinois State, so it was just, I want to say it's corn.
It is.
Right?
Corn and soy.
Corn and soy, just everywhere.
So that's, getting into the central Illinois and the Illinois Valley, some of the most fertile land in the country. Essentially, those prairies became farms with white settlers in the mid 19th century.
Right. Is the soil, the fertility comes from the fact that it was like swampy? Is that?
So I'm not going to be able to give you a lot on the geology and ecology of those prairies, but I will tell you, because that's not my area of expertise, but I will tell you that the Illinois has one of the best watersheds because of the Great Lakes and because of the aftermath of the sort of ice age, and which is essentially the Great Lakes.
Right.
10,000 some years ago, and the melting of the glaciers. And so we have a real treasure here, right? 20% of the world's fresh water.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wait, the Great Lakes is 20% of the world's fresh water?
Yes.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
Man, look, I did not pay attention like I should have. Wait, what?
Yeah.
That's why it's called the Great Lakes.
I mean,
okay.
I feel like that's why when people talk about how, sure, you have beaches in Chicago, they don't understand that Lake Michigan is like a lot. Just because it's a lake doesn't mean it's small. It just means it's fresh water.
Right. That's
very large.
Man, I really should have paid attention a lot more. Like, learning now as an adult is way more fun than as a kid.
Because you're actually interested in the things you're learning.
I'm very interested in this. We got to talk about this later. But yeah, no, keep on going. That's interesting.
So the indigenous populations that lived here over thousands of years, right, since the glacier receded and people came down from the north and started settling here. Now, Chicago was not a very friendly place to settle in. I mean, let's think about it for a second. Summers, let's just start with that.
Right.
Swampy place, hot, steamy, mosquitoes,
horrible.
The whole thing, right? And then winter, right?
Right, just very harsh.
Just harsh with the lake effect, weather that we get here. So people aren't really settling in mass along the southern tip of Lake Michigan.
Right.
But they are when it comes especially to when they get pushed around because of various conflicts, especially when the Europeans start to conflict with each other over fur trade and all their, other sort of issues of power. So there's actually some of the groups that were here when Europeans arrived were refugees. Some of the first people who lived, some of the people who lived here when the Europeans arrived. The first people who lived here were prehistoric.
Right.
And there's a lot of, information in the book on that as well. But the people who lived here, they knew how to produce and store food over winter in pits. They dug pits, whether it was legumes or seeds or other kinds of, and eventually corn.
Right.
So corn comes up from Central America to Illinois, first around the beginning, first century, 70 AD, around that time.
Wow.
To Illinois, and eventually comes north. But there are other products that the indigenous population was creating. There's a whole span of different foods. Perhaps one of the most interesting ones that I was going to say we've lost touch with is from our forests that we also had intermixed here in deciduous trees that produce nuts. And so there was a whole nut industry, perhaps one of the biggest industries across northern Illinois. Not so much along the coast, Lake Michigan, but and to some degree, yes, but especially up as you go farther north in current Illinois and southern Wisconsin.
Wow, that's interesting.
They're all the major, not only just acorns and from oak, but hazelnuts and other types of nuts.
Wow. So I'm glad you said that, because I was going to ask what isn't as prevalent now as it was. You know what I mean? And I had no clue. I think that's the first time we've heard, nuts.
Like a nut industry.
Yeah.
Well, the indigenous populations across mainly northern and central Illinois, southern Wisconsin, currently, today what we would call that, they didn't exist as states during that time, but there was whole nut production industries. They actually had a type of nut meat that is spoken about in the archaeological literature. I'm sure they didn't call it meat, but it was a type of protein that was stored and packed for distribution, and especially during winter months, was really important.
OG vegan food. OG vegan food.
Perhaps. I might think about it that way. It became very clear that removing the prairies and cultivating grains was going to be lucrative. And so, let's see, I think one of the things I was going to mention was that, just a fact, just kind of give you a sense, just in the 1830s, in 1838, the first shipment of grains, of wheat, went out of Chicago, and it was 3,670 bushels out of the port of Chicago, right? And the next year, it went from 3,670 to 628,000.
So double.
What do you mean double?
No, more.
Yeah,
and so
it's almost a million.
So by mid-century, it was 2 million.
Jesus.
Wow.
And so Chicago was well on its way to becoming this place for centralizing grains from across the prairies in the Midwest, especially to the west.
That's crazy.
Across Illinois, across Iowa, and so forth. And so one of the key figures in that process was the first mayor of Chicago, William Ogden.
All right, that was really cool.
Yeah, buddy.
He's so. I feel like we could have talked to him for like another 3 hours.
Yeah, I mean, some of that information. Now, granted, you only heard 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, you only heard 10 minutes. There will be the full. I think it's what 40 minutes conversation that we had in length.
Yeah.
That will be on our YouTube. So check us out on YouTube. On Wednesday, if you listen to this on Monday, but just check it out on YouTube, and you'll see the full interview there. lot of dope nuggets. He revealed even more.
Like, honestly, really, really, if you enjoyed this kind of conversation, this kind of topic, go listen to it because it's really just wonderful.
And what's dope, so I mean, we really were like, yo, how do we tell Chicago's food history the way we want to do it?
Right.
And like we were sitting talking to him, and I remember I looked over at you, I was like, this is our start right here.
Yeah.
This is how we start. It's got to be a part one. I mean, like, there's no way we could just sum it up like that and leave it at that because there's so many different cultures and the people we could talk to that can kind of tell you, man, this is a wormhole. Yeah. We ready to go down.
We're ready. And one of the things that we talked about is how a lot of food in Chicago started because of immigrants, because immigrants came and they introduced a lot of new foods to Chicago. We spoke to Monica, who you'll hear about in a little bit, but the neighborhood that we chose to eat in today was Albany Park.
Albany Park.
And we ate at the most diverse zip code in the United States, or one of the most diverse, right?
60625, one of the most diverse zip codes. The interesting thing about this is that most of the population in the zip code are foreign born.
Foreign born.
Anybody?
If you're an OG listener, you probably remember Dario saying foreign born.
You get it. But also, there's 40 languages spoken in this zip code.
That is wild.
Out of control. Like, it just shows you the power of, you know what I mean, like the diversity in that community.
100%. And it's they embody it. Like, they want you to know that it's diverse. All of the you know how like the usually like the chamber or like the local organizations in the area will put up signs to kind of like beautify the area or whatever. It usually says like the name of the community area and then something next to it. And Albany Park it's referencing how global it is in Albany Park, and a lot of community areas will say that you can eat around the world in Chicago, and this is one where you can knock off a lot of countries.
You can really do that. Can really do that. So what we're going to do is we're not going to go to break just yet because we got 2 food restaurants, 3 really, that we'll talk about.
Really 4.
Yeah, really
honestly.
4. But we'll do one right now and then go to break.
Yeah.
First place we went to was Dulce de Leche.
Dulce de Leche Cafe. And it is so cute. I honestly didn't know what to expect. I had looked up we wanted to hit a couple different foods in the city, so in the neighborhood. So we started off with coffee. Our intention was to go in there and just get a coffee and maybe something baked. Yeah. But as soon as we walked in, they were like, if you're going to take pictures, please sit down because it just looks so much more beautiful.
Hey, that's the first time we got that. People say, oh, you taking pictures? Please sit down to make them look better. Yeah,
and honestly, I'm so glad we did.
Yes. I mean, like the presentation.
Beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. And the story is even better. You know what I mean? Like with that whole, it basically is a family run. Yeah. Brothers that run it with their wives and and kids and children. You know what I mean? Like, and they all banded together. The owner, Fernando, I think he's the one that said, we were workers before the pandemic. And now we are the business.
Yeah, they literally opened 2 weeks before the shutdown.
He was telling us that, like it was going well, you know what I mean? Like they opened up a business, they were happy, and then 2 weeks later, pandemic just, I know that's got to be gut wrenching. You know what I mean? Like,
I can't even imagine.
The cool thing is how they kind of show resolve. Yeah. Right? They he was telling us that they pivoted, right? They figured out ways to get food to the people. Yep. They figured out how to,
they did the deliveries themselves.
They did the deliveries themselves. So they did whatever they had to do to survive. Yeah. And let me tell you, I'm so glad they did because the food is immaculate.
Yeah, it really is. And the concept is that they combined 3 of their favorite things. So coffee is his wife's favorite. So they have dark matter coffee served at their place. They like crepes, whatever you want to call them. They serve savory and sweet, which is wonderful because if you like either or, and they serve Mexican breakfast food and like lunch items like sandwiches and stuff like that. So it's not a ginormous. Well, it's not a ginormous menu, but it's large enough that anyone can get something that they like there. And let's talk about what we ate.
Yeah.
We started off with 2 coffees.
The cool thing is, first I do want to say that the only thing we picked out on this menu
Was the coffee.
Was the coffees.
Yeah.
And we had, I had the Nutella latte. And let me tell you, fantastic. Like, smooth.
We chugged dark coffee.
We did. I mean, he dropped it off to us, and then he came and said, hey, when he came back, like, maybe 2 minutes later, he was like, how's the coffee? I was like, this shit is gone, man. Like, what you mean? Like, what you mean how the coffee? It's good. It's great. You know it.
I had the lavender coffee.
That was good.
Which, if you don't like floral, I would not recommend because it is floral.
Yeah.
It's sweet. I got it we both had ours with oat milk. It was delicious.
Yeah, gotta have the oat milk.
I mean, it's, yeah.
Bubble guts. Yeah, it'd be rough. They were both very good.
Both were very good.
Yeah, I mean, like, that was... I mean, there was a chillier day, not too chilly, but it was chilly enough, right? Mm-hmm. And us walking up and down the street, Lawrence, like for pretty much the whole morning, that was perfect, right?
Yeah,
that was a perfect start, yeah. And then after that, he asked us, "What do we want?"
Well, we first had the croissant.
Right. Oh yeah,
Nutella
did we order that?
I did. Yes.
Okay, you ordered.
I ordered the Nutella croissant, and it was perfect. It was flaky. It had enough filling in it. It was really good.
Yeah. That was good. Dip it in the coffee. Mm-hmm. Life hack. Mm-hmm. That ain't no life hack. Y'all been doing this, but y'all been doing this. I'm brand new to this shit, but I dipped in the coffee. The chocolate was fantastic.
It was so good.
I mean, it was, and a little bit of the flakes that fell inside of it gave it a little bit of a weird crunch. I liked it. It was my own little concoction.
All right, let's talk about the star of the show.
Yeah, the stars of the show. Let me tell you, because that was when we said, "Hey,
surprise us,
dealer's choice.
Yeah,
you pick." And I'm sure he was like, that waiter was like, "Oh shit, like what do I do?" So he went and he brought us back the
two things.
We
got the what is it called? I want to say French toast, but it's not French toast.
It's not French toast. It's bread pudding.
Bread pudding. Yeah, there you go. It's the dulce de leche bread pudding. And it's like a brioche toast, almost. It's like a thick cut toast, covered with dulce de leche, ice cream. There's strawberries, bananas. There's whipped cream on the side. Oh my god!
Hey, y'all.
we said we're not going to eat all of it because we're about to make 3 stops. We'll just eat a little bit. We destroyed that.
When I say destroyed, like
fucked it up.
Fucked it up. Yeah, you know what I mean? Royally fucked. I mean, first of all, check this out. So let me set this tone for you, right? The ice cream, couple scoops.
One scoop, one big scoop.
Okay, on top of the bread in the pudding, right? But when you cut down the pudding had a slight little crisp to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm telling you, that's why I felt like French toast.
Yes, right.
You know what I mean?
It felt like that.
But it's not pudding in the sense that it comes in like a bowl. You know what I mean? It looks like a piece of French toast.
It looked like bread. It's like, yes, French toast, but it's bread pudding. I mean, y'all.
So good.
Hey, look, if y'all Dulce de Leche Cafe, if y'all listening, Cafecito, y'all listening to this one, y'all got here. This
that's
for you.
The one.
That's for you.
Yeah,
that's for you.
It was amazing.
Y'all went crazy.
And then the second thing they brought over, which is my favorite breakfast dish of all time, is one of their most popular dishes is the chilaquiles.
Yeah. The chilaquiles.
If you've never had chilaquiles, it is a salsa and tortilla chips, and then an egg, usually over medium, over easy. Sunny side up.
Scrambled for those that like it.
No, nobody gets it scrambled. And then, and then beans. You know nobody gets it scrambled.
No, but yeah, because he brought out.
Dario said, and then we had it with carnitas. But Dario said, "We'll take the egg scrambled," and I was like, "I don't want to eat a scrambled egg." And the guy was like, "I could not scramble the egg and put it on the plate, but I brought you a side of scrambled eggs."
Man.
You need to grow up.
I don't need to grow up.
You need to grow the fuck up is what you need to do.
Anyway, it was great. It was great.
It was literally one of the best chilaquiles I've had in a very long time.
Yeah.
And it was topped with radishes, avocado, cilantro, onion. The carnitas were insane.
I know somebody gonna come for me by saying this, but like, I know it's good for me when I eat the beans.
Yeah.
Like, the beans had to be mixed with it.
Yeah, it was so good.
Oh, my goodness. Like,
Yeah, that plate was amazing. It was really, really good. The flavors were so good. It was kind of like you know when certain salsas you can taste the like how the vegetables were cooked before you blend the salsa. Yeah. It was really, really good. The tortilla chips were not too soggy. Obviously, part of them they get soggy pretty quickly because they're sitting in a lot of salsa, but they were crunchy. The eggs were cooked perfectly the way for my preference.
Scrambled eggs was good too.
Nobody gives a shit about scrambled eggs.
Come on. Scrambled egg
childish
community.
Ass.
This is me and the scrambled egg community. We out here.
It's you and like 3 7-year-olds. That's
it. And
I'm just saying.
But it was good, y'all.
It was great.
And that was the start of our day.
That was the start of our day.
That's how we started the day. Like, I mean, from there it was only up. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was only up.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go to break. And then we're gonna come back. I know it's a little bit different for y'all, like
I know,
because this is different. This is a different this is a different type. So who knows if we do food like this again? There's so much food. Anyway, we will be right back after the break.
Yeah, buddy. All right, we are back with our second portion of, I don't know, it's not even the food portion, the second half of the episode. Welcome back. Thanks for sticking around. And so the second stop that we had was a Korean bakery.
Yeah.
And I feel bad pronouncing words that I don't know how to pronounce, but it's okay. People mispronounce my name all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's Nakwon Korean Bakery. And it is also on Lawrence, 3746 West Lawrence. They, I've never been to a Korean bakery before. So I walked in and I really did not know what to order. We also did get there like 15 minutes before or 20 minutes before they closed.
Yep.
So I'm not sure if like what they had was because like the limited amount of stuff they had was because it was at the end of their day, or maybe that's just what they offer.
Right.
But we got two things that were, so it seemed like most of what they make is rice based, right? It's like rice based.
I mean, that's an understatement.
Goods.
Like everything is rice. Like they had like the rice as it
bags
comes,
of rice,
bags like big bags of rice. Oh my God!
Yeah,
it was a sight to see.
I know it was. Was a lot of rice bags. But the two things that we ordered, which one of them I already knew that I was going to like because it's very similar in texture and flavor to like a mochi ball, but instead of having ice cream inside, it has red bean paste, which I also love. So it's literally like the rice ball, you make dough out of rice, and then I don't know what the process is. Maybe I'm just making this up. But
you sounded real believable until you was like, nah.
Well, I don't want somebody's gonna be like, actually.
Actually.
All right,
wrong again.
But it's like a ball of rice dough and then red bean paste inside, which is really delicious. I love that kind of dessert because it's not too sweet and it's not too overpowering, and red bean paste is so underrated, and I mean I just love it personally.
It was good. It took me for a loop because like it does look like the mochi ball.
Yeah,
but it took me for a loop when you pull it. It's a little tough. You know what I mean? A little tough.
Yeah, it's the rice itself, like that dough is not. It's chewy.
Yeah, it's very chewy.
Yeah, it's chewy, and those are made.
But the beans taste good.
Yeah, it's literally. I love that. And then, so that's what we had. We had one more thing that was literally just the rice dough, and it's like it almost looks like a cheese stick, like a mozzarella cheese stick.
Yep.
Not breaded and fried.
Right.
But
it looked like a mozzarella cheese stick though. Yeah. Because that's what I thought it was. I mean, I thought it was some kind of cheese. Not stupid thinking it's mozzarella cheese in the Korean, but I thought it was cheese.
No, I know what you mean. But yeah, it's not sweetened, so it's like a perfect little snack that is not necessarily sweet.
Running gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey. So that was our second place, and I think leading to our next conversation is a lot of the locations in Albany Park are small businesses, are owned by families. And so you really do see, like we talked a little bit earlier about how the Dulce de Leche Cafe was able to like pivot in the middle of the pandemic. And that is like such an important part of existing as a small business and not a corporate or belonging to a restaurant group, is you're able to make those little changes. If someone likes something about what you make and they prefer it to be done differently, you could change your menu. You know what I mean? And so, and we see that a lot all over the city. And all of the, literally anywhere that is a small business or a small family-owned restaurant, you see it all over the city. But we specifically talked to Monica we talked about her new book that we're so excited for it to come out.
Yeah, buddy.
And she's going to talk about it in a little bit. And then we also talked about one example of one chapter in her book, which talks about Home of the Hoagie, which you guys know, if you've listened to that episode, we love Home of the Hoagie, and it was absolutely delicious. So let's listen to that conversation.
Let's get it.
My name's Monica Eng, and I am the co-writer at Axios Chicago. Before that, I was a longtime food writer and reporter at the WBEZ, Chicago Tribune, Chicago Sun-Times. Oh, and I'm also the co-author of Made in Chicago, 30 delicious hometown bites. Yep. Stories behind that. It comes out in March. I better start remembering the name.
Yeah, got to plug it right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then one of the places that you are talking about is the place that we went to today, which is Home of the Hoagie. We've been to Home of the Hoagie before for one of our episodes, so if you've listened to it before, we've been there. But you taught us a lot that we didn't know. Like, we went in and we got the food because people were like, this is the best hoagie in the city. Yeah. And then
I can definitely vouch for this.
Yeah. And then today we went in because first of all, this sandwich, I don't even know. I've talked so much shit about Italian beef. Because I was like, who wants soggy meat? But literally...
This is not really...
It's not an Italian
meat. Yeah. That's it.
This goes by 3 different names. Okay. It was called the Supreme Steak when it was first invented. It's sometimes called a Steak Supreme. Sometimes it's called the Sweet Steak or Steak Sweet. Or at Home of the Hoagie, just the steak sandwich. Meal on a bun.
So,
meal on a bun.
Yeah, and everybody knows about it. I mean, you go in there, it's a packed line. It's a packed house.
It opens, it's fine.
Yeah, you got there before we did. We were like, oh, we're gonna be on time. 2 minutes, not bad.
Time that I've been there at 10:30 and there's already a line. It doesn't open until 11.
That's crazy.
There people line up at 10:30. We came later. It was open already.
11 open.
Yeah. Wow.
Why'd you pick it? Why'd you pick Home of the Hoagie?
Because I think you can argue that this steak sandwich is the most Chicago sandwich in the city. And that's because it incorporates elements of sandwiches that you really only see in Chicago. So it's got a steamed bun, a la the hot dog.
Yep, hot dog.
It's got 2 slices of tomato and sweet bright green pickle relish, a la the hot dog. Mm-hmm. It's got hot and sweet peppers with giardiniera, just like an Italian beef. Oh my gosh. It's got grilled onions and American cheese like a big baby. Mm-hmm. And then it's also got meat that is chopped ribeye, which is similar to the Italian beef. Oh, and mild sauce, another super Chicago thing. And they're all in one bun. You don't have anything else that brings together all those very, very Chicago aspects on one sandwich.
And honestly, so when we talk about the history of Chicago food, you briefly touched on how important it is because this encompasses everything we as Chicagoans, we love to eat. When you talk about Chicago food, where are we at in Chicago's food history? Because we talked briefly, standing in line. How important is Chicago food history?
Briefly, it was like an hour long.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I think Chicago food history is really important, and you see it on the plate, and you start the book by saying, it's simmered into every single dish. There are 100 stories if you sniff hard enough or if you dig hard enough. And there are, we love it, we eat it, we stick it in our mouth. But boy, there's a lot of great history behind it. And I think it makes the dish more interesting to eat. And I think it tells you a lot about the waves of immigration, German, Jewish, Greek, African American. And today, a lot of the fast food innovations are being done by Egyptian, Palestinian, and Pakistani and Jordanian restaurant owners on the south side.
So it's really cool because Chicago's almost going through another phase of creation. Because a lot of German, Jews, blacks, Mexicans and Latin, they were kind of like the forefathers, so to say, of Chicago food. But now, you talk about Egyptians, Palestinians. That's not something you hear in Chicago.
Yeah, you don't know that like those babas that you see are often, or a lot of the sub places, Super Sub, or Stony Sub, a lot of Palestinian, Pakistani.
Yeah, and they're very distinct foods, and we kind of we do this obviously as food history podcast, but recently one of these ridiculous articles basically said Chicago was a flyover city when it came to food, and that's what prompted us to kind of dive into. All right, let's kind of set the record straight. Chicago food is here to stay. Yeah. What do you have
on the high end? I mean, on the high end, obviously you've got Oreo, you've got Alinea, you've got whatever. Next, and there's so much innovation going on there. But then on the sort of more pedestrian, everyday person, and you've got incredible foods, and people are just discovering, of course, because of their Italian beef now.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's like one of the top 3 things that you know about Chicago.
Exactly. Well, I remember my ex-husband, he's from New York, and he's Italian, and he sees this thing called Italian beef. He's like, what? What is this? It's an Italian food? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He's so offended nothing about it is Italian.
Yeah. So I think Chicago is so important. And, a lot of what we have has to do with our stockyard past. There was a lot of beef here. There were a lot of beef byproducts here, and people needed to know what to do with them.
And I was going to say, it's really like what used to be the industrial parts of the city that have, I feel like, the most creative foods, because like we talked, different groups were almost forced to use the scraps of what was left over to create these like delicious dishes, and then it ends up being like rib tips.
Yes.
What I mean? Like, can you imagine not having rib tips? I want to talk a little bit more about that as to how important is that to like the history of food in Chicago is.
Right. And so I say that a lot of the things that were invented, we invented because we had the stuff around. We wanted to use what was available to us and what was cheap. So you had rib tips. Everybody wants this beautiful square rack of ribs. Well, that's not how ribs are. Right. There are these tips, these gnarly bits that you cut off. They used to be just served to the cooks. And then Miles Lemon was like, let's try serving these to people. And they're like the most delicious bit. Yeah. And then you have chicken wings, Gampong chicken wings in Korean, ethnically Chinese Korean restaurants that have just gone all over the nation. That didn't start as wings until in Chicago, one of the restaurateurs in the early 80s was like, they're throwing away these wings. They're selling for like $2 a pound. Let's just make this dish with wings. And suddenly it took off. Now wings are the most expensive kind when you go pound for pound. The Italian beef at weddings, at Italian weddings, they didn't have enough money to serve everybody food. They just shaved it really, really thin, put in a lot of juice, and then put it in like bread. And the bread didn't even have to be super fresh because you're soaking it with milk. You can make that go a long way.
Yeah. We actually talked to Chris.
From the house, yeah.
Talked to him. He told us how it started. You all can check out the link right there. But it's really cool. You talk about how many things Chicago started, and we know out of history. I mean, out of necessity is kind of how they started. But we come up with some really cool things. Italian beef being one of them. This hoagie sandwich being one of those. We got the burrito. That is something that is from Chicago, and how we kind of fashioned the Euro. So there's so many different things when it comes to like the history of Chicago food for us to be not a flyover. What else have we created? Have we started?
The pizza puff. A lot of people think the pizza puff was, that's just in someone's freezer. No, that was so it was Jewish and Armenians had the push carts with the hot dogs, and with hot dogs you always have the corn roll tamale. Yeah. So there was an Armenian guy who had who sold push cart equipment to people. Yeah. And the guy, there was a guy who couldn't pay his bills, and he actually died. So the widow gave him their tamale recipe. Wow. Tamales. The family had something called El Taco, the Illinois Tamale Company. And the family was, delivering tamales to hot dog stands all over the city. And the hot dog stands were like, these pizzerias are killing us. How can we find a way in hot dog stands to compete with pizzerias? So the tamale makers, who were Armenian, of course, said, oh, let's see what we can do. So they took a flour tortilla and some pizza ingredients. They wrapped it up. They said, a lot of our hot dog vendors have deep fryers. Let's see if we deep fry this. And what do you know? Pizza puff was made.
Wow.
That's how a pizza puff.
Wow.
That's why it's made by a company called Il Taco. Why is it called Il Taco? Illinois Tamale Company. Because they were originally, they made those corn roll tamales.
Wow.
Again, it was like, they're trying to solve a problem. What do we have around us? Oh, we've got a tortilla, we've got some cheese, we've got some sauce. Let's make this.
That is this podcast never seen. We always are amazed at stuff like I would have never guessed that story. That could have been a Jeopardy question. I would have been like, yeah.
In the new book,
there you go.
Chicago.
There you go. Plug. I love it. So in your book, you talked about a lot of these things. Obviously, you have a world of experience, years of decades of experience. There's more secrets and things like that.
Yes, like how Chicago. So Udos was in. So you could argue that Alexander the Great invented Udos. Yeah. But then when Turks moved to Greece, they started having these limited things like doner, which is in Turkey, and shawarma. And then when they moved to Chicago in the 60s, a lot of Greeks, they started taking ground meat and like packing it and then trying to serve it as this thing that they had in Greece that was pork based. But they started taking meat, beef and lamb, and just packing it on. And it sort of worked until this one guy said, well, why don't we, instead of having every restaurant try to make their own trompas, let's say in Spanish, or their own spits, we'll make it for you. And this became all the biggest Udos companies in the United States, or right here in Chicago. A lot of them have emerged because they said, let's do it when we make it for you, and we bring it to you. Wow. It was 3 different Greek families. One sort of perfected the electric rotisserie. One perfected kind of mass producing these things, no longer having to get a strong guy to stack each one, but basically making like a meat milkshake that you could pour into this cone mold, cook it, and it's sort of pre-cooked, and you're no longer having to get like either whole muscle meats and stacking that, or even ground. It just, you pour the slurry in there and they cook it. That allowed Udos to go everywhere. No longer did you have to have this skilled guy who could build these things in your kitchen. You could mass produce them.
Immigrants, they get.
That's right.
Chicago built on it. Like Chicago is literally built on immigrants. You know.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Wow. So I would say, where is the history of Chicago food going? That's a crazy question. Where do you see it?
Well,
yeah, right. It can't go.
Future.
Right. Where's the future?
You know, it's interesting. We were just talking to a guy from Homohogi, and also the father, Ed Perkins Sr., who invented this, his son is a vegan too. And so I think, wow.
A vegan made some of the best.
And I'm like, you've been making these beef sandwiches? And he's like, yeah, on a bet. My friend said I couldn't be a vegan for a month when I was 14.
A bet?
Yeah. He said I couldn't do it for a month. And now he's 40 and he's still doing it. Wow.
I think, I was going to say, I really think we're moving towards a more sustainable plant, I don't want to say plant-based, fully plant-based, but I think there's a lot of focus on plants being the main ingredient of a dish, and then other things being like, you can have like bacon crumbs on it or something like that. But I think we're really moving towards more, and that allows for more creativity, because like, how can you layer flavor with just vegetables?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Chicago will find out.
Mm-hmm.
We'll figure out a way to do it.
Yeah. So the son was telling me he wanted to make it with walnuts, and then here at Homohogi they were doing it impossible, which I guess is controversial in some areas. But
yeah, right.
It's an option.
Yeah, right. Different podcasts.
But Chicago's food history has been very meaty, and so maybe we're going to be moving toward more plant-based foods too.
So
I have a feeling that we are. All right. Well, we're going to finish our food.
Yeah, we're going to finish eating. Y'all go grab Monica's book when it comes out. One more time. When does the book come out?
It's out March 21st. U by Press. It's called Made in Chicago. And I believe it's S23UIP for 30% off when you buy it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. We'll include all of that in the description if you're watching on YouTube or in our podcast.
Secret code on there. Okay.
The autograph.
That's all. I just want the autograph.
All right.
Hey.
What did you think? Well, you were there. So
yeah, I was there.
I know what you think.
But kind of dialogue with people if you listen to it all the way. I think this is going to be I know this is going to be dope because just to hear all the different stories about how things got started. I know. The Pizza Puff getting started here in Chicago like that. You know what I mean? Like the what? Like
I know.
But not even buying an Italian, you know what I mean? Like, or I'm sorry, that stuff is in the hood, you know what I mean? Like, so, like, not even nothing like that, you know what I mean? Like, to me, absolutely crazy. Yeah. Home of the Hoagie, he was vegan? Come on, man. Like, what? Like, this, like, so, it's just amazing.
Monica herself has so much knowledge about food, especially food in Chicago. She's been doing it for quite some time, and she is one of the best, honestly. Like she actually has her own podcast with Louisa, who is the food critic for the Chicago Tribune. They have their own podcast called Chewing. Louisa Chu and Monica Eng.
There you go. That's for you, Monica.
So check out their podcast. You have literally 10 years worth of episodes. They've been doing it forever, and it's such a good listen. I absolutely love it.
She said it. Got a book coming out on the 21st. The 21st, I can't remember, but got a book coming out. Yeah. Y'all go check it out. We will also be at the release, which is going to be a fun. I don't know if I don't want to give a location. I don't know, but but yeah, it's going to be fun to be there. Like kind of hear, see the book in action. And it's 30 stories like that. She told 3 right there.
Right.
There's 27 more that her and her partner wrote about, that started here in Chicago. Yeah. That's man, look. If y'all, and also, I know we didn't plug the other book, Howard's book. You can go get that. That's called the Chicago A Food Biography, which of course diving deep into the history of the indigenous kind of food and like the immigrants, brought over what they brought over, and then the people that were here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so such an important conversation.
Conversation.
Yeah, please go listen to the full conversation with Howard. It's really, really great. Yeah. Maybe I'll convince Dario to release it as a secondary episode later this week. We'll see, but otherwise, go to YouTube.
Hey, who knows? That's a lot of editing. But now the main course.
Now the main course, our final meal for the day. We went to Kebabi, or however you want to pronounce
Kebabi.
It, but that's literally how it's pronounced. Kebabi. Yeah. It means my kebab in Arabic, but this is Persian, so I don't know what it means in Persian. But it is a Persian and Mediterranean restaurant. It is super popular. It is one of my favorites. Our good friend Jordan and
Tyler.
Jordan took me there for the first time. We went on a little hike, and then she was like, let's go get lunch. And so we went there, and life-changing.
I mean,
honestly.
Yeah.
It's so you walk into the place, you order at the counter, and then you take your number and you sit down and they bring you the food, right? That's the vibe. It's very chill, very relaxed, super casual. Like I said, we went after our hike, so we were musty dusty. So
musty.
And the menu is large,
yes,
but I would say a lot of those items are repeated.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
With different variations, slices and the kebab and just the standard meat, and, family size.
Exactly.
So
it might seem intimidating, but if you look at the menu closely, you realize it's a lot of lamb, beef, chicken, repeated in different ways.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so let's talk about what we ordered.
So first off, we got kebabs.
We got the vegetarian sampler.
Because I'm ready to talk about this.
I know.
Go ahead. Yeah.
We got the vegetarian sampler as an appetizer comes with 2 pieces of falafel, hummus, baba ganoush, or mtabbal, it's really what it's called, and almost like a tzatziki sauce, like a dip, but it's cucumber and yogurt. And listen, this salad is all over the Mediterranean, so there's different variations to it. Persians put dill in everything, so this one had dill in it, and then a simple like cucumber tomato salad.
Good. I mean, it's like I've never been a big fan of that salad. You
mean vegetables? Vegetables. You're not a fan of vegetables. Just say what it is. Say what you're about to say. You say you like scrambled eggs and meat. That's it. Simple man.
Hey, look, I I like Caesar salads.
You like Caesar salads
just because of the sauce.
Yeah. I want people to. I wish people were there the day you found out that Caesar dressing has anchovies in it.
Man, look, I almost boycotted, but I love the taste. I love the taste.
The umami, baby.
I'm not gonna be hated. But what I was gonna say is like, it's just like, it's not.
I feel like it's a waste of stomach space. I know exactly what you're thinking.
No, it's good, but like, I get past. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but
got a basic ass palate. That's why.
My palate is grown.
I know it has.
Over 100 and what? 4
It for sure has. Yeah.
Yeah. It's grown. But look, I'm about to fast forward. That was all good. That was good. The hummus was good. All that was good. But y'all, check this out. If you've never had a kebab, a Mediterranean style, kebab, all that kind of stuff, man. Look, let me tell you. Typically beef, lamb, is considered the beef. You know what I mean?
No.
Okay, lamb is lamb.
Beef is cow.
Beef is cow. Okay, that's
is a baby goat. No, baby sheep.
That's very true. Anyway, there's beef, there's lamb, there's chicken, right? I have never had filet mignon.
Shish kebab. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know what part of the meat that I've been eating, but I know it wasn't. I don't.
Well, and they ask you, how do you want it cooked?
Yeah, medium.
So you ordered medium.
Yes.
Y'all. Finally.
What you mean, finally? Hold on. What you mean? I always get medium. Always. What
always?
You see, now you're just trying to.
You always want to say medium well.
No. No, not on steak. You tweaking. Y'all don't listen to that. She tweaking.
Blasphemy.
Yeah. Yeah, she tweaking. You ain't never heard me say that medium well.
No.
Burgers, that's different.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. A burger medium well. Anyway, steak. I ain't never had no steak medium well. Anyway. Actually, when I was a young dumbass kid, confession.
You're like, I want it chewy.
I mean, black,
leathery.
But y'all, this was so good. Is what I'm trying to get at. Yeah. Like it was so different. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I never had it like that. Didn't know it was an option.
Yeah,
this shit was good.
Yeah, and the chicken. Listen, the chicken never misses. Never misses. Yeah, you say Mediterranean before chicken, you know it's not gonna miss.
Hey, look.
That shit probably marinated in yogurt. Man, with some turmeric on there. Oh my god!
If they saying Jordanian, any Middle Eastern, Mediterranean chicken, just get it. Just get it.
Just order it.
Don't even question it. Hell, even
especially Lebanese. I would say Lebanese.
Yep, the Indian chicken.
Order it.
Order it. Don't even This is. There's a few sure things in life: taxes, death, and this chicken from the Middle East and Mediterranean. Those three things.
Yeah, buddy.
Is for sure.
Yeah.
These hands also for sure too. So just,
wow.
just in case, I gotta
can get it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But man, never miss.
Never miss.
Man, look.
Never lost.
Never lost. Never lost.
It's not an inside joke, okay?
Yeah,
This is this guy whose dad
LeVar Ball.
Yeah. He said he would win against Michael Jordan. So.
Yeah.
And he said he
never lost.
So that's the joke. Now we say it all the time.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so when you order, so what Dario got, he got the lunch special, which was the filet mignon and chicken, and then it comes with your choice of rice. He ordered half white plain ass rice, and then the other half he got the good rice, which is the dill rice, and it comes with large beans.
Yep.
Lima. What do you call those in English? Is it lima beans?
I think so, but it also got
they're the large flat beans.
Yes, and then it's got some of the dill in there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Dill. And then they sprinkle some saffron rice on top just to give you a little bit of luxury.
That's what that is. Okay,
the orange.
That was unnecessary.
Unnecessary. Sir, saffron is more expensive than gold.
And.
All right. Well, shut this shit down because we're about to get canceled.
Everybody about to come in.
Just said saffron is not necessary. Literally shut it down because no one's gonna want to listen after this.
You said no.
Shut it down.
It was look. In this sense, I don't know what I was tasting. Like
you sure don't.
Have I ever had saffron?
Yes, you have. I've made saffron rice before. My mom has made saffron rice here.
Damn. I mean, look. Maybe
don't rob us, but I do have saffron in the kitchen.
Do we?
Yes.
Damn.
My mom brought it from Jordan.
Hey, look. Maybe I don't know what saffron tastes like.
You sure don't.
Do y'all know what saffron tastes like? Y'all look. I know y'all.
They can't answer you. They're not.
No.
Okay.
You know how people be coming in the comments. You know they be messaging us on the side. They be messaging us, talking like he don't know what the hell saffron is. I'm a double down now because my back against the wall. I'm doubling the hell down.
Wow.
Y'all goddamn.
Please don't. Please don't. Don't do this.
Y'all
don't do this. Don't do it.
No. Look.
No, it's like saying I prefer grilled over fried chicken.
No.
Do this. No.
I prefer chicken. If that's my preference, just chicken. But like, look, how many people can tell me what saffron tastes like right now?
I mean, most people can't afford saffron.
Okay, then. So when I say I don't know what's going on,
yeah, but you said it was not necessary.
It was because I don't know. Maybe I was tasting the saffron and didn't know what the other rice was. It was bland. You know what I'm saying?
It was bland. That's the white ass rice you ordered.
No, white bread. I know. Let's move the hell on.
This 5-minute argument.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And this Guinness, zero alcohol.
0 alcohol, but also
alcohol.
5% alcohol.
It's 0.4%.
But we also got the lamb kebabs, which if you go and you order the lamb kebab dinner, that shit is huge. It's not a regular kebab like you've experienced before. This is probably, I want to say, an 18-inch kebab. And you get 2 of them.
This bad boy was.
It was large.
Hold on. I just want to pull up a picture real quick. This bad boy. Yeah, this is.
Yeah, it's an 18, and it comes on like a big round plate. It's literally so good. It's one of the best kebabs I've had in the city.
The smokiness and the flavor when you cut into it.
It's so juicy.
Out of control.
You know what I mean?
Out of
like
control.
the meat isn't dry. Yeah. It's just now I want some.
You know?
That's what she said.
Everything comes with a side of pita. You get pita on the side. And then they finish you off with the best little surprise.
Yeah, what's that?
They give you a cup of black tea.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
You get a cup of black tea, and you get dessert.
Yes. Let me tell you about... Look, tea is tea, right?
No, it's delicious.
Okay, yeah, but it's tea. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't nothing to write home about. But the churros that you got...
Not true. I mean, they're churro-like. You're right. It's hollow fried dough dipped in syrup.
That goddamn churro. It was a churro. It was good. It's a good nightcap. So now.
Do you know the TikTok trend where people are like their ancestors are looking at them like, what are you doing? And they'd be like, oh, I'm ordering food on my phone. And the ancestor is like shocked. That's how my ancestors are looking at me right now. It's like, he said churro.
And you ain't going to check them. You ain't gonna check.
Love him.
Here's the thing. Check it out, y'all. And this is culturally something that I learned, being over in Jordan and in Egypt, right?
Okay, let us know what you learned.
So when you and if you know this, disregard this part. You can skip 15 seconds. But
no, please.
No, please don't. I didn't know that you sit down after you're done eating. They bring out the coffee, the tea, and then like the snack, and then y'all sit there and still commune. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it ain't over.
Meals are like a couple hours long.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that. And like when we was in Jordan, we did that at family's house. Right. Everybody just sat down, had tea. It was like that was the thing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, and then excuse me. And then here at the restaurant, you bring out some food, you bring out the tea, and y'all sit. And it's not like you get charged that. It's just they just bring that out. That's part of the culture and experience.
Part of the meal.
Yeah. And I think that's so dope, especially if you've never experienced Middle Eastern food, Mediterranean food, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. And you don't know. You think you done eating,
right? They
gonna bring the stuff back out, and I do want to say this, like they so nice, so very nice. You know what I mean? Like it just seems different than a typical restaurant. You know what I mean? Like it was just so dope.
I just want you to know that the dessert that you had has saffron in it.
Really? Mm-hmm. The thing that I smelled? Yeah, boy, I was fucking them up. I was fucking them up.
The flavor was great, didn't you?
Yeah, man, this saffron looks like shredded cheese. I get out of here. It do.
Shredded cheese? What the hell is wrong with you?
Picture I'm looking at.
What is it? What color is it?
This picture I'm looking at looks like it's yellow.
In what form are you looking at it?
The rice form. The form that, let me send this picture over to your computer screen so you can see this. This is that. I don't know, y'all. Like, look.
You sure don't.
I know I'm pissing somebody off today.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a chef out there besides Sarah.
Basically, what you do with saffron, and this is the best way to prepare rice with saffron, right? You take the saffron. Mm-hmm. Do you know what a mortar and pestle is?
Come on now, I just learned what saffron is.
The little thing that you grind.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool.
So you put it in that. Mm-hmm. You grind up the saffron. You add water to it. So it kind of like blooms, right? So the
saffron.
Saffron. It not blooms like a flower. Oh. Blooms like End the shit. All right. Well, if you like this episode, I wrap it up. If you like this episode, I don't know why. Maybe don't punish Howard and Monica
for
being on this podcast. Dario's just unhinged. If you did not like this episode, please DM Dario at super_Dario_bro and let him know that he is disrespectful as hell.
I'm taking all hate mail this week. It's all good. I love y'all regardless.
Maybe we'll be here next week.
Bye.
Hey, thank you so much for listening. We really hope you enjoyed that. Please follow us on all social media at 77 Flavors Shy. And if you have any ideas and things you want to learn about, please email us at media@77flavorsshy.com.
Yeah, and if you could, also head on over to our YouTube channel, same thing, 77 Flavors Shy, and give us a follow, give us a like, and give us a good rating there. Make some comments. Go ahead and subscribe. We love y'all. See you next week.